This is our response to the second question of the evaluation, where we will be looking at the marketing plan of another film, The Blair Witch Project, and comparing it to our own marketing plan. We'll also be looking at the synergy between all three of our products. This is the poster made by Becky, and it features several features which are carried on through our trailer and magazine cover. This is a small snippet of our trailer, which we will now be looking at Fenella's magazine cover, where we can see several ideas carried on through the poster and trailer. Here is the initial logo for our film. We decided on the occult logo with the red REC dot, as it features on camcorders and it fits in well with the found footage idea that we had. We thought that the logo was easy to recognise and also fitted in with the conventions of horror films quite well. We thought that it was a good brand logo for our film, as audiences would be able to recognise it instantly, and you would only really need the red dot if we were doing more sort of teaser trailers. This is the tagline that we used for our film. "They're out there" is quite vague, and it also makes you think, what is out there? We included it on our poster and also on our teaser trailer towards the end. We also kept the font quite simple. This is the opening statement on our trailer and matches the Blair Witch Project's idea of that sort of thing. Also, the font is carried onto our poster as well, which Becky created, and then it's finally used on our magazine as well. We thought this was quite a nice simple font and wouldn't detract away from our logo or any other parts of our work. We decided to keep quite a dark image for the film, as it is a horror film and also found footage, and it's also "they're out there." It sort of links into the whole what's hiding in the woods sort of idea. We kept this over all of our pieces of work that we created, as we thought it would be a good way of creating a simple synergy between all the pieces. Now we're going to look at the Blair Witch Project's marketing campaign, which is our model for our own marketing campaign for our film. Witch Project's marketing campaign was quite a groundbreaking one for the time. The use of the internet during that sort of time, the late 1990s, wasn't that great for films, but Blair Witch Project, they used it to create this very simple website in a sense, but the fact it sort of documented the whole story of the Blair Witch and created this big legend and showed all the evidence that these people disappeared really scared people, to the sense that they actually believed it and believed that the Blair Witch was true. The directors of the film, they initially sent in a small video with all the evidence and documentation that these people had created into a program called Split Screen, which was shown in America. And the obviously the creators and presenters of Split Screen, they introduced the film. They said that it was all real because they believed it to be real too, and they interviewed the director about finding this footage and how the families of these missing people wanted the footage to be seen by everyone, they could learn about the Blair Witch. Then, close to the film's release, Blair Witch Project and their marketing campaign and team, they joined up with Sci-Fi Channel and created these short, about 10-second sort of like trailers for film, like building up to the release of the film. Sort of, they were very vague, as you'll see later on in the video. I got them off YouTube and downloaded and embedded them into this video. They're quite vague in their sort of. It was very mysterious, the sort of idea we were going for in our trailer too. We thought that'd be good to mimic because it was a good idea at the time with their marketing campaign. These were usually shown prime time. One of them was during when Back to the Future was on, so a lot of people are going to be watching that. And then it also led up to the release of a special programme on Sci-Fi Channel about the Blair Witch Project and the disappearances, the whole backstory behind the film. They really built up their marketing campaign nice and strong for this film, to build up the suspense around it. Nobody had ever done this idea before, and it really freaked people out because they didn't know what it was about at all. Then also the Creators Film released a book called Blair Witch Project: A Dossier, which supposedly released unseen sort of evidence and police documents about the disappearances in the area at the time, all the back history. Really scared people to the point where they believed it, and it just it was one of the first major viral marketing campaigns, which has been copied by people who do Paranormal Activity, Cloverfield. They all go for this mysterious look, but no one really believes it now. Just through the use of social media and how that can manipulate things in a way. And then, so now we can have a look at all the footage that we found for the marketing campaign and everything about it.
Not every slice of life is so benign. These three filmmakers, Dan Myrick, Greg Hale, and Ed Sanchez, collectively known as Haxon Films, discovered a darker tale in the woods of western Maryland and sent us this amazing trailer for a feature they're planning. We'll meet them afterwards.
Witches have haunted the passages of folklore throughout history. Oriental sorceresses, European hags, and voodoo priestesses are all variations on the same theme. Women in league with supernatural evil. They were blamed for the stillborn, bad crops, sudden illness, and anything else frightened men could not explain away. He would be the last person to see Jane Steiner, John Miller, or Billy Madsen alive. When Madsen failed to report to work 2 days in a row, his employer contacted Steiner's roommate, who in turn called Angie Steiner, Jane's mother. The first APB was issued on the 17th, and the Maryland State Police launched their search of the Black Hill area on October 18th. This operation would last 10 days and include up to 100 men aided by dogs and helicopters. 8 months later, the investigation, which included experts from the FBI, was terminated. 33,000 man-hours had failed to find a trace of the filmmakers, their car, or their gear. The case was declared inactive and unsolved, June 23, 1994.
I first heard about this Blair Witch Project from one of the faculty of members at MC, where I used to go to school. We keep in touch, and he contacted me and told me about this unbelievable story.
I got involved with this project a while ago when Ed approached me with this story that he ran across. And when we started getting more and more involved with it and dredging up some of the facts behind it, it just completely blew me away.
It was the impact, the emotional response to their first telling me the story that would not let the story leave my mind.
These people were, you know, students at the same place that I was. I mean, these people could have been, you know, me and my friends.
Here is the Blair Witch Project's website. As you can see, it's quite simple in its design. The creators created this page, especially the mythology page, which sets up the legend of the Blair Witch. The website is very informative and simple. It records the basic events. It shows, like here, we have the evidence of the filmmakers going missing. It makes the audience feel like, and the viewers of the website, that they are learning about a real story, and they find out about this story straight away with simple facts without no big gimmicks on the website at all. This seems to be really effective in creating the story of the Blair Witch. Here are some of the missing posters which were put up at Cannes Film Festival around the time the film was released. They're quite clever in the fact that they use the whole idea of the filmmakers going missing to create a buzz about the film. Although they had to be taken down, they're still a really effective use of advertising for the film and would have generated interest amongst the audience. These two trailer spots on the Sci-Fi Channel are particularly effective because they are very vague towards the whole story of the film. They create anticipation and a wanting to know more from the audience. They make the audience want to watch on and then obviously watch the longer documentary about the Blair Witch Project, which was on the following day.
Do you believe the occult may be involved in the disappearance of your son?
I'm so scared. Oh my God! What is that? What the fuck is that?
Now we can take a look at our marketing plan and how it based out on the Blair Witch's marketing plan. We decided to go for a two-tier marketing campaign when it came to our film, a sort of personal and big company level. We'll start off with the personal level, which would be for the characters. They would have their own sort of basic everyday Twitter, Facebook, Instagram accounts where they would post updates about, we're going on a walk, we're going in this forest, they're sort of building up towards the initial backstory of the film, sort of like the Blair Witch did with their website in a way, where they build up the whole legends of the story. After that, we would go on to they would weekly update that, and that would build up the anticipation, but also give it the whole story, the validity behind it. We would introduce sort of a blog towards their expedition, like, we're doing this today, we've gone out and done some training for this. Through that, we would use social media as well, through the blogging, like blogging apps, that sort of thing. And a YouTube channel we would introduce as well, because as we're in the 21st century and YouTubers and on the online age, they become quite prominent. We thought that would be a good idea to introduce, to give the Blair Witch Project's marketing campaign for our film the sort of 21st century update that it needed. Then, as we got towards the date of the disappearance for the film, there'd be a sudden stop in all these posts. It would go dead for a couple of months, that sort of thing. Like the Blair Witch did, apart from the characters, they didn't have the whole social media aspect at all. They were literally just said to be disappeared. Then we would move on to the second phase of our campaign, which would be a few months afterwards. The production company, our production company being Found Productions, would be given this footage by a family member, and they would take it up as their own and sort of work with it like the split screen episode show that Blair Witch did. We'd have our own company Twitter, Facebook and YouTube accounts. We'd be posting posts on there about the whole finding this footage, wanting to do the people justice in a way for their story as they are missing. And we would be working towards that. There'd be teaser trailers, that sort of thing. As they picked up the footage, there'd be short teasers including footage like the one we made, that sort of thing, be on the company's YouTube channel, and the whole idea and it will be marketed as a documentary, as a real film, that this really happened to these people, and it needs to be seen by people because this sort of thing happens and we don't know why these people disappeared. The family want the film to be seen so they can get help to find their family, that sort of thing, like a 21st century Blair Witch Project marketing campaign. Here is our two-tier marketing system that we devised. As you can see, there's 2 different levels, the personal level and the production company level. The personal level was mainly just to give the story behind the whole disappearance some validity and for people to think it is real, because that's where we feel other marketing campaigns have failed with, like Paranormal Activity. They say the people are real, but there's very little evidence towards it. We then move on to the second part of our 2-tier marketing system, which is the production company aspect. As it would be Found Productions, we would have a company Twitter, Facebook and YouTube account already up and running, and then we would say that we found this footage. It was given to us by a family member who wanted us to bring closure to the family and the whole incident by sharing the story with whoever wanted to watch the film. Through this, then we move on to sort of short teaser trailers like the one we made for our actual media work, and these were placed on the YouTube channel and also possibly placed as small adverts on other YouTube channels as well, and videos which had the correct requirements. Here's an example of Becky's poster being in use in a real life situation. We think this poster looks really good in this situation, as it's easy to distinguish, you know, what film it's from due to the synergy between our magazine cover and also the trailer as well. The font is nice and bold on the occult and is also eye-catching with the red logo. Here's an example of one of our characters' Instagram accounts. We think this is quite a good idea as it sets up the backstory. There'll be very normal posts on these Instagram accounts building up to the disappearance of the filmmakers. Here's an example of our characters' Twitter accounts. They'll be using exactly the same way as the Instagram accounts, just build up a backstory.